Just come into what's here right now. Some nice deep breaths.
You can invite the Holy Spirit into your mind, into awareness. And just give over your mind, your being. Just say, I'm here. The Holy Spirit is this true teacher in our minds, always available. Always sharing love. Now I'm called again to share from Choose Once Again. Temptation has one lesson it would teach in all its forms. Wherever it occurs, it would persuade the Holy Son of God that he is a body, born in what must die, unable to escape its frailty, and bound by what it orders him to feel. Would you be this if Christ appeared to you in all his glory, asking you but this? Choose once again if you would take your place among the saviors of the world, or would remain in hell and hold your brothers there. So whenever there is a belief that you're the body, that you are at the mercy of the body's frailty, the Christ comes in all his glory asking you to choose once again if you would take your place among the saviors of the world, or would you remain in hell and hold your brothers there. How do you make the choice? How easily is this explained? You always choose between your weakness and the strength of Christ in you. Simply by never using weakness to direct your actions, you have given it no power. And the light of Christ in you is given charge of everything you do. For you have brought your weakness unto him, and he has given you his strength instead. This is a real choice, to bring our weakness to the Christ in our minds. Bring the belief in the body's reality to the Christ within and question it. You can ask, who am I? I'm not this thing, this body, this person. It should be an easy choice. Choose the strength of Christ rather than the frailty of the body. Hell is no place to be.
Today's lesson 124, is let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God. Today we will again give thanks for our identity in God. Our home is safe, protection guaranteed in all we do, power and strength available to us in all our undertakings. We can fail in nothing. Everything we touch takes on a shining light that blesses and that heals. At one with God and with the universe, we go our way rejoicing, with the thought that God Himself goes everywhere with us. How holy are our minds, and everything we see reflects the holiness within the mind at one with God and with itself. How easily do errors disappear and death give place to everlasting life. Our shining footprints point the way to truth, for God is our companion as we walk the world a little while. And those who come to follow us will recognize the way, because the light we carry stays behind, yet still remains with us as we walk on. What we receive is our eternal gift to those who follow after, and to those who went before or stayed with us a while. And God, who loves us with the equal love in which we were created, smiles on us and offers us the happiness we gave. Today we will not doubt His love for us, nor question His protection and His care. No meaningless anxieties can come between our faith and our awareness of His presence. We are one with Him today in recognition and remembrance. We feel Him in our hearts. Our minds contain His thoughts. Our eyes behold His loveliness in all we look upon. Today we see only the loving and the lovable.
We see as in appearances of pain, and pain gives way to peace. We can see the loveliness of God in appearances of pain, and pain gives way to peace. We see it in the frantic, in the sad and the distressed, the lonely and afraid, who are restored to the tranquility and peace of mind in which they were created. And we see it in the dying and the dead as well, restoring them to life. All this we see because we saw it first within ourselves. No miracle can ever be denied to those who know that they are one with God. No thought of theirs but has the power to heal all forms of suffering in anyone in times gone by and times as yet to come, as easily as in the ones who walk beside them now. Their thoughts are timeless and apart from distance as apart from time. Okay, guys, that's a very powerful mind. Though no miracle can ever be denied those who know that they are one with God. That's an invitation. That's a worthy invitation. We join in this awareness as we say that we are one with God. For in these words, we say as well that we are saved and healed, that we can save and heal accordingly. We have accepted and we now would give. For we would keep the gifts our Father gave. Today we would experience ourselves at one with Him, so that the world may share our recognition of reality. In our experience, the world is freed. As we deny our separation from our Father, it is healed along with us. Peace be to you today. So this, my friends, is amazing. This is what we're worthy of. Experience of the realization that we are one with God. And there is nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. and it's extended everywhere, all at once, into the past and into the future even. All minds are healed. That's pretty amazing. We can even throw away the timeline, the belief in future salvation. Because it's available now. Because this invitation to work with God. And if you don't like the word God, you have some issues in your relationship with God, you can say love instead, or source. I think most of us have, connotations with God, Jesus from the past. And we need to forgive those connotations, those associations from the past. From God the Father, to realize that God is love, source, and a very loving Father. It feels good to know that there is this loving source constantly wanting to love us. And in that, we can realize we are that love, and we love everything that He created. We realize He created everything, everyone. We will see only the light everywhere. Nice.
Yeah, a power outage here a little bit ago, and just maybe 15 minutes before the session, we got it going again. It's like the light is back.
Yeah. And the inner light was never out. There's this mystical wording in the course about the inner light. The atonement can only be accepted within you by releasing the inner light. Releasing the inner light. Let it shine out. Let it shine forth. Don't keep it closed in. If there is anything that you'd like to bring up for healing, that you'd like to ask Spirit's help with, it can be powerful and helpful to name it here. It can be very healing to not keep it to yourself anymore. Julie.
I was reading the lesson this morning and really felt really moved, and then I became aware of a belief that's been ongoing like for years in my practice, that is insidious. It's just there, and it's present. It's not that loud, but it's there. And then I looked at it like, okay, what, oh my God, and it's, if I read this lesson, for instance, for example, and I don't experience that, it means that I'm not pure. I'm not there. Something's wrong with me, obviously, because it promises so much. And after years, it's still not today and might not be tomorrow, like, so so I have this belief, because if I can't access, quote unquote, all these, I mean, it's there, so obviously and I believe it's true, therefore, and I'm open, and I think I'm open, but I guess I'm not, so there's always this counterbalance.
Yeah, there is guilt. It's just some guilt. Yeah, but there is nothing wrong with you.
I think I'm impatient too. Guilt.
It's okay to be impatient. It's okay to be eager. But then to be kind, Jesus says guilt is never justified. Guilt is never, ever justified. So he wouldn't approve of you using the lesson to feel bad, to have these thoughts, I never get there, I'm not good enough, or student, or whatever the mind is saying. Jesus wouldn't align with that or approve that, Just be this message, they are one, I love you, I'm with you, you're not guilty, you're not wrong. Thank you for your willingness. Thank you for doing your best. And I found the lesson today really beautiful, because he said, it's every minute you spend, experience anything, but you spend this half hour with God, and every minute is a jewel that is making a beautiful frame, for you to see your true self. You may not see it today, you may see it soon. And when he says tomorrow, I even thought, what does Jesus mean with tomorrow? Because our spirit doesn't believe in days, but sometime in the near future, it's not harsh. It's gentle.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
I think sometimes we give up. We just give up. Sometimes we just think, maybe this works for others, but not for me,
Yeah.
Or I'm just not going to bother. But even how he describes the lessons, often he says, just do them, just take this time, offer this 5 minutes or this half hour. Isn't it worth it? Even maybe you don't feel anything, but trust that it will come,
Yeah.
Sometimes I think, what better use of time is there? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. 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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I feel the stillness, the calm. Thank you.
Okay, who would like to go next?
Hello. Yes. There's been an awful lot of the dark dream of illness in my life in the last sort of year or so. And actually a theme of that for many, many years. And more recently, my partner has just been diagnosed with cancer. And I have a desire to pray for her. You know, I want to pray for her. But in a way, I've prayed in a way, sort of conventional, what you could call conventional prayers, asking God for help, asking him to heal her, asking him to heal her daughter. But I'm also reading the course, a lot at the moment, and I'm trying to remember my own purity, my own holiness. And yes, I have started asking the Holy Spirit to guide me how to pray for Letitia. Yeah, it's very funny with Letitia. I hadn't realised. Letitia is the Spanish name for joy. It means joy, which is Spanish. And I've been sort of with her for 15 years. I do experience a lot of joy with her, but I hadn't quite kind of clocked it really. So in a way, I've just been saying her name, just been saying joy, joy, and praying for joy. But yeah, so now comes the but, doesn't it? And I guess I'm just starting to wonder, is it enough just to get my own mind right and have her in my mind?
Yes.
In a sense, yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a gift, not just to her, but to everyone.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
To the whole universe.
Mm. Yeah. And somehow there has to be, moving beyond the world of cause and effect, doesn't there?
Yeah.
And asking God to heal her and saying,
Yeah.
please heal her, is saying, I want you to use your cause and effect.
Yeah.
In a way, it's not seeing who God really is, and not really seeing who we are, perhaps. And
and also to see what is there really, because what does this seeming sickness bring up for you? What is the fear? What is the, because it's not so much about the body's sickness. The body can be however it is, but it's about like you said, the healing of the mind. And God does see his beautiful daughter, his beautiful child of his, and he doesn't see sickness.
Yes.
And we're not here to judge anybody's life path or the lessons we call forth, so
yeah. I mean, I am, in a sense, almost, I don't know if I can even say it, almost relishing it, because it is an extraordinary opportunity to see the dream. It's an extraordinary opportunity to see the dream. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, you don't have to feel bad about seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm so lucky because I love her so much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
it's a very strange thing, because I've just been incredibly ill myself. I nearly died 9 months ago in a medical emergency, and I nearly went mad as well because it was to do with my brain. And yeah, and had post-traumatic stress, and she nursed me through that. You know, her presence allowed me to be able to find something in my own presence. You know, and she soothed me. She sat in this room with me and soothed me night in, night out. And now it's my turn. It's completely crazy. It's just turned round, and now it's my turn. So it's incredible. There's some sort of extraordinary kind of lesson. But you said, didn't you, Jenny, about, you know, that there is something to see. You know, there is something. There's guilt, in a sense. There is some kind of guilt, which is projecting outwards, isn't it? And it's seeing the illness, and it's creating this world of sickness that I've been living in more or less for 20 years, you know, and all my relationships have been with women who've been ill as well. And, you know, I mean, there's a kind of story in there. It's part of the dream, you know, it's my way of doing the dream. And or part of my way. I do other things as well that aren't like that, but
yeah, and maybe it's not your way of doing the dream, but your way of awakening from the dream. If you see it that way, you don't need to judge.
Well, there is the other side, isn't it? Because if you really are led, or the way, if it really does reveal itself in this way, then in a way you have to ask very deep questions about it, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, you're forced into, what is it, the 12-step people say, you're forced into the solution, in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah. And it is the nub of the matter, isn't it? The course is that, you know, the heart of the delusion is the body, and the projection of the heart of the delusion onto the body is that it's sick. It can get sick, and it can die, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the key, the solution is to see it as a dream.
And there was a line from I've been a Buddhist for many years as well, and there's a line in the Buddhist teaching where the Buddha is seeking, when he's a young man, and he's seeking enlightenment. And it's described as the undying, the unaging, the unailing, as in the unsick.
Cool.
So what I've been trying to do is just trying to, in a way, bear in mind Letitia and say, I see you as the unailing, unaging, undying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's enough.
And again, to just see what it brings up for you. Guilt or fear, or, you know, she's the Christ. There's the Christ, you know, and the appearance is deceit, you know. So this is so deep. So everyone that comes into our life is the Christ being behind how we perceive them. We're here to forgive our perception completely, to forgive, to release, you know. The sick body, healthy body are both illusions. And healthy body is actually not better than sick body, you know.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes for healing, we seem to throw forth difficulties or hardships, like you were saying, like you were very ill, and that has led you to go deeper. And seems like sometimes we have set up the lessons that way, you know, minds to get really clear.
Yes. Yeah. So this is what needs to be looked at, isn't it? Yeah. And this is what needs to be forgiven. Yeah. And in a way, it's very simple, isn't it? And it's very essential when it's about something like this.
Yeah.
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 And it's taking her straight to God at the moment, you know, as well. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to blame the classroom. You just have to use it.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. Yeah.
And I hear this beautiful, sweet song. You can look it up. All I need is the air that I breathe and to love you.
Yeah, I know that song. Yeah.
Your love for her, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so possible for it to be different, isn't it? It's so possible.
Yeah.
It can all just be so different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with pain and suffering, there is usually guilt underneath. If there is pain experience, but there are people who have cancer, like Ramana Maharishi, he had cancer, but he didn't have pain, you know. Jesus didn't have pain when they put him on the cross. So, but if there is pain or suffering, there is guilt to release. There is, you know, and that's maybe sometimes you pair it up like that with somebody to clear something, to
Yeah.
you know, to
Yeah.
release some belief in littleness.
Well, it's got to take you beyond the body, hasn't it? You know, the journey's got to go beyond the body in that sense, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It has. Yeah, and it's interesting because for a long time, I wasn't able. I think I've been quite able to accept that, what we've just been talking about. You know, it was a bit like the illness felt too real, in a sense. You know, and therefore to deny it seemed to be denying something real. You know.
Right. And that's an unfortunate use of denial. You know, you shouldn't deny the belief in the body. You know, that's not helpful because apparently you believe in it. You know, so instead it's to work with it, to
Yes.
let spirit show you how to use it for your awakening as a communication device.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not, doesn't just come down to the absolute metaphysic of it, sort of, you know, in a sense, that not being the identity, you know, because there's the kind of gradual unfolding, isn't there? That's what you're saying, isn't there? And the little clues every day, and you know, learning to be a little bit more gentle, and yeah,
you can't hammer in metaphysics and
you
know, live by them in an intellectual way. It goes really deep. Emotional healing, important. I feel a lot of love for you and Leticia in spirit. The spirit's love for the two of you and the journey you're on.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm very glad I sent the email this morning to get the invite to this, so I'm very, very glad. Thank you.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. Bless.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Bless you both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still love that every time you're calling her name, you're calling joy, calling joy, and it's so great.
I feel this message from me, your spirit, from the Holy Spirit or Jesus. Give her a hug from me. Give her a hug.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Lena.
Yeah, I feel it's a real struggle going on in my mind. It's really the ego screaming, resist and deny, and it's also when it comes to guidance, I try to sit and meditate, and
the mind started racing as soon as I try something, you know. So I just usually call out for help, and I'm not trying anymore because it gets too hard. It feels too hard on myself somehow.
It's, you know, we all want to do the right thing. It's very strong in us all. We want to do the best thing, the right thing. And the right thing, what is the right thing? It's good to inquire about that. What is the right thing? If there is fear, it's just more to work through. Because if we move ourselves to another location while we still have fear, you know, we'll bring the fear with us. So it is a journey of undoing fear, releasing fear, not half-heartedly, but fully. But even that can be the question, how do I do that? So yeah, you know, there can be specific guidance and places to go, but it's also a moment by moment releasing of fear, releasing of any kind of block. And I feel this, I hear the word cancer, because I know you went through that, Lena. And Richard, you talked about cancer. And cancer, yeah, can be a lesson or a fear to go through, to put on the altar. You just feel that cancer is on the altar with the Holy Spirit. Just gonna look for something. Yeah. When you seem to see some twisted form of the original error rising to frighten you, say only, God is not fear, but love, and it will disappear. The truth will save you. It has not left you to go out into the mad world and so depart from you. Inward is sanity. Insanity is outside you. You but believe it is the other way. The truth is outside and error and guilt within. Your little senseless substitutions, touched with insanity and swirling lightly off on a mad course, like feathers dancing insanely in the wind, have no substance. I realize we keep rereading those powerful passages. We just read this one. So God is not fear, but love. This is what we can say when some twisted form of the original error is separation. When we see some twisted form of the original error rising to frighten you, say only God is not fear, but love, and it will disappear. Truth has not left you. Okay, Patricia.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. It's so peaceful to be here.
I think so too.
I feel like hugging you.
Mm.
Yeah, it's fascinating because I really feel the peace, and it's beautiful, and it makes I feel happy. So yeah, right now I feel happy, and there's no really reason.
Even better.
Yeah, I know. No, it's just there was a question, but I don't know how to formulate it. I just want to perhaps as I'm aging, I don't want to come back in this illusionary world. No way. Ain't coming back.
Woohoo!
I don't want to come back. But, so I'm trying to buy some clothes for now, but that doesn't cost that much. So anyway, Holy Spirit guide me to this place, which I thought there was used clothes, and I'm praying and I'm saying to Spirit, okay, what do you want me to do? And then all of a sudden, this man talked to me, and he told me to go somewhere else because that place was closed. And so what happened, I went to the place, but then, to make the story short, nothing happened. I didn't buy anything, and I came back home, and I was late for this the Zoom. I realized I thought it was 2:00 my time, 2:00, but it was 1:30. So anyhow, what I'm saying is, like, my little mind is saying, well, you follow the guidance, but you see nothing happen, like I'm like, ego was saying, well, you're losing your time. What the heck are you doing? You're not, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just there, like, sometimes I'm saying, well, the guidance was to go to the used store, but I feel like nothing happened. And when this man talked to me, yes, I bless him, and I recognize that he was one with me, and I bless him, and then I laugh, like, but
Sounds like you had a miracle.
really? Well, I'm always doing this, like, but
you shared it just in passing, that you realized he was one with you.
okay.
That's a powerful miracle. That's something to celebrate. And I do not know what anything is for. I do not know why I'm guided to a used clothes store that no longer existed.
Yeah.
So someone told me where it is, and you're here to learn not to judge.
Okay.
Because it sounds like you go into judgment, like, why was I guided there, but it didn't work. I didn't get any clothes, and I came late to the meeting. But that's all judgment,
Okay, that's judgment. Oh my goodness, thank you. Okay, I get. Okay, so I was judging myself because I felt like, let's say I will have got a pile of clothes, I will have feel like I went there for something.
Perhaps you go back the next day or later today, or to the store that he suggested and find the pile of clothes. I don't know, but you don't know what anything is for, and that's the lesson. It is, it is actually for learning to not judge.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
I think it was just yesterday that Matthew shared this beautiful story where he was guided to go to a different bank, that he's like, no, I don't want to go there. It's less convenient. He had all these reasons why not to go to this one. But then he got there and he knew, I mean, it was clear to him. It was this bank teller that he interacted with. He was just there to have just a short, sweet, but connection with her, and that's all it was for. And he totally got it. So I think maybe that was it for you too. It was just to meet this,
Really? Okay, like wow.
have that whole
This well, okay, so whatever the guidance of Holy Spirit, that's all I have to do. And then let's say, as an example, he sent me to this man that guide me to another store. So it's to say that I'm one with this person, and you're a holy child of God, you're free, like you're one with me, like in my head, of course. Okay. Oh.
you go through your whole life saying that to everyone you meet, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how many clothes you end up buying or not buying, or what grocery store you go to. You'll just be the happiest person in the world. And that's all it's for.
Wow. Thank you, because you're blowing my mind right now. I didn't realize. Wow. Yeah, just to show you how clueless I am.
Yeah, and it can be, you know, the ego would like you to judge and doubt the guidance. You know, maybe the thought could be, oh, it must not have been guidance. You know, or
Yeah, because that's really most likely that's the question, because I was saying, well, look, you know, I followed the guidance. I went and I felt like I haven't done nothing, you know, and I did not come back with clothes. So like, and then I'm late for the
yeah.
Wow.
And the ego is fixated on doing, on what we do, you know, instead of being this wonderful spirit, you know, that just, okay, there was the thought of going to a used clothes store. You met a beautiful man who you felt one with, and he said you can go to another place. You know, it can be very, very just beautiful in this experience of no judgment.
Wow.
And
well, thank you.
yeah.
It's like it's mind blowing, because I almost feel like I want to argue with you.
There's a question that Jesus asks several times. He says, of any situation in the world, to ask, what is it for?
Yeah.
What is it for? And if you're using the situation for happiness, for joy, for forgiveness, you're doing it right. It's not about what happens. It's about what you do with what happens, about what you do in your mind with what happens.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you learn the lesson of not judging yourself, then you won't feel like you're in this world, or you won't even feel like you can ever come back to this world.
Anybody that wants to come back, I'll give them my tour. My tour of duty. I've done it. I don't want to go in the battlefield anymore. I want to sing with the angel.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and I love you. Thank you.
I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Self-judgment is, the ego likes that, you know. It's a preoccupation to keep us in guilt. Self-judgment and doubt. Let's put that on the altar. All of it.
Bye-bye.
And in the Spirit's perspective, it is for glory, it is for joy. Is it the question, why did I go to that place? Why did I go to the store? For joy, for glory, not for clothes. Like, why do we do anything? It's for joy. Leticia, joy. But it is helpful to practice, to want to practice, to be guided, of course, and you felt you were guided. And Lena, you believe you were guided, but let's explore, let's really find the clarity in the mind beyond the guilt. Okay, anyone else? Grace?
Hi, I just want to say thank you so much. This is reaching so deep. Thank you, Patricia and Lena, for this is like this there is deep wound around my relationship with the guidance. Wow. Thank you for, wow.
We're healing all wounds tonight.
Sorry?
We're healing all wounds here tonight.
Wow. Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. I'm grateful for every sharing. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, love you so much, Grace.
Okay, sweet. Thank you so much, everyone. Each and everyone.
Yeah.
I feel this is for all of us, everything that has been shared.
Blessings through the whole world.
Yeah.
Everywhere.